Take your mind into the wonderful world of physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kinetic Hour. Conversations with you and guests. With your host, Kenan Wesley Mason. That's me.
More than 1,000 protesters rallied in front of Kellogg's headquarters in Michigan, demanding that the cereal company remove what they call harmful additives from their breakfast products. News Nation's Anna Koyman joins us live with more on this. And Anna, many of those that showed up are parents concerned about, what could happen if their kids eat some of these cereals and breakfast foods.
100%. There were big crowds there in Michigan, Marky. Good morning to you and good morning to everybody at home. Once again, moms and dads are taking a closer look at what's going into their children's mouths with their cereal and other common breakfast foods. And this time, it's not just sugar that they're taking a look at. It's chemicals, it's artificial food dyes, and it's preservatives. Take a look.
Hundreds of parents, kids, and wellness leaders gathered for a Michigan rally before activists marched and delivered boxes of petitions to Kellogg Corporation with what they say contains over 400,000 signatures demanding Kellogg remove artificial food dyes and a preservative called BHT from kids' cereals.
All of the cereals that they have targeting children have these artificial food dyes, but they don't do this in other countries. It's un-American, it's unethical, it's immoral.
Protesters say there's evidence that artificial food dyes can contribute to behavior issues in some kids, and some doctors agree.
Food is at the cornerstone, is a foundation of healing children. And one of the first things that we do is we remove food coloring from their diet. And it is astronomical and mind-blowing. The parents cannot even believe it, that it could be that easy to just remove food coloring and the change on their behavior, and even in my eczema program, on their skin.
Kellogg announced nearly a decade ago they would remove the artificial colors by 2018. They did in other countries, but not in the United States. And they told us, quote, "Our products and the ingredients we use to make them are compliant with all applicable relevant laws and regulations, and we remain committed to transparently labeling our ingredients so consumers can easily make choices about the food they purchase." Today, more than 85% of our cereal sales contain no colors from artificial sources.
Instead, they've done the opposite. Not only have they lied to us, but they keep creating new products. One just released this month after a stuffed animal my kids have in their bed with these artificial food dyes.
And there are mixed reactions from U.S. leaders about what should be done, if anything, with regulating coloring and preservatives in our food. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has said that it believes most children have no adverse effects when consuming color additives.
Now, these food activists that we talk to, they're not saying that now all of a sudden the cereals in Europe and Canada and Australia are healthy because they're lacking the food dyes that we have here in the United States. But they say, look, it's a step in the right direction for getting our children to stop eating such ultra-processed foods. Marky, back to you.
I can't imagine how that would go over in a lot of households when you tell the littles you got to take the Fruit Loops away. Yeah.
Well, when it's flavored with watermelon and carrots and colored that way, some say you can't tell the difference. I haven't sampled the two, so I couldn't tell you. But look, it's a step in the right direction, according to these food activists. Some parents, though, are going, you know what, I just want my kid to enjoy their cereal and have some fun with the colors.
Yeah, try the cereals, and then that'll be the follow-up, Anna. Anna Koyman, thanks so much.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Kinetic Hour. I am your host, Kenan Wesley Mason. Welcome one, welcome all. We're simulcasting live, as always. Simulcasting live on Facebook, simulcasting live on Instagram, and simulcasting live on LinkedIn. So welcome to everyone on those platforms. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. There's always two. Kinetic, Kennetic, the Kinetic Hour. the Kinetic Hour. Subscribe, click thumbs up, hit the notifications so you can be alerted with every show. Leave your comments. Leave your comments. And tell everyone you know to leave comments about the comments. And just tell everyone you know to listen and tune in to the Kinetic Hour. Go back and watch some of the previous shows. Just go back and watch. There's always something that you can get out of every show, whether it's one person listening or 10,000 people. It doesn't matter. My voice will always permeate. So thank you for tuning in to everyone. Before I get to the clip, before I go there, go to my other YouTube channel, which is Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info. Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info. And again, that's Kinetic, Kennetic, Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info for everything health and wellness related, physical health, mental health, emotional health. Go to that channel, do the same, subscribe, leave your comments, and tell everyone you know to go to Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info for health information. So before I go to the clip that was just shown, the first thing I want to do, is go here, and I just want to acknowledge first. I want to acknowledge here first the world champion, Major League Baseball world champions here in America, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They just had their parade today, actually. For anybody that watched television earlier today, especially here in Los Angeles, got to see the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers win the World Series just a couple of nights ago. And so congratulations to them on winning over their cross-country rivals, the New York Yankees, who they played a great game, all games. There were games where the Dodgers were just dominant. That's just what it was. And they went ahead and wrapped it up in Game 5 with a final score of 7-6. So congratulations to them. And they did this for this man right here. I'm just going to go through a few. Let's see. We'll start with this one here. Paying homage to this man right here, Fernando Valenzuela, whose birthday is today. I think he would have been 64 years of age, and he just passed away a few weeks back. But I remember watching Fernando over the years when I was younger. I'm going to go through a few of his pictures here. I used to watch Fernando when I was younger, growing up. Here you see a picture of him and former Dodgers manager, world famous Tommy Lasorda. And he was very instrumental in Fernando Valenzuela's success. So you have that picture right there. And also, we're going to go here. Another tribute, this World Series, not only paying homage to Fernando Valenzuela and Tommy Lasorda, but also the man on your left, Vin Scully, longtime Dodgers announcer, television and radio, world famous Vin Scully. So this World Series championship was for him as well. And so I'm going to go through just a couple of more here, because Fernando Valenzuela, not only did he move forward from the baseball diamond, but he went on to be an announcer for the Los Angeles Dodgers on their respective Spanish-speaking networks, and here in Los Angeles. And he did that all the way up until his unfortunate illness, and he passed away. But he went on into sports casting, and he was obviously great at it. And yeah, so Fernando Valenzuela, this man right here, in Los Angeles, we consider him being not Bob Uecker, right? Here in Los Angeles, we consider Fernando Valenzuela being one portion of being Mr. Baseball, along with Vince Scully and Tommy Lasorda. But there he is, the latest in some of the greats that have graced the Los Angeles Dodgers organization since they came here from Brooklyn so many decades ago. So yes, Fernando Valenzuela, as we salute him on this day being his birthday. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Los Angeles Dodgers, world champs. And next, last night, because last night was Halloween. I got to go trick-or-treating here with my daughter, as you see right there. Dressed in her outfit, and we went trick-or-treating, me and her and family, her mother's family. We went to their community and walked the neighborhoods, and we had fun. There you see me right there. Oh gosh. And here we have here's my there's one of our pictures right there from last night, going trick-or-treating and having a good time. You know, I always cherish these moments because you know, I didn't get to do trick-or-treating when I was younger. I didn't get to do trick-or-treating. I think I may have gone once, maybe with my older cousins, trick-or-treating. But it's just something that my mother just, you know, she just wasn't into Halloween, the whole theme of Halloween. And so we didn't participate. We didn't dress up in costumes and walk the neighborhoods every year, put up decorations and all that good stuff, which is fine. But because of that, I enjoy when I get the opportunity to have these moments with my daughter, because when I look back 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I can say that I had these moments with her. So, so yes, and that was my daughter, Miss Nija E. Jewel Mason, who I love a lot. So moving on, I just showed a clip at the top of the show, and this was a protest in front of the Kellogg'S Corporation, and something that was brought to my attention just a couple of days ago when I was watching when my because this is part 2 in this series of mental health, which in this specific series, we're talking about ADD and ADHD. And talking about some of the root causes. And one of the root causes that I was highlighting was pesticides, and also food additives, And so something was brought to my attention because I was mentioning how these food additives get stuck in your musculature and travel through your bloodstream and into your organs. Well, the first place that all of these pesticides and food additives go is into your gut. Your gut. You know, we hear things about gut health and how important gut health is. Well, when we have an abundance of pesticides and food additives, and we can add food dyes in the equation as well. When we have these chemical substances in our system in abundance, it's going to create chaos in the gut. Because guess what? In your gut is where most of your digestion takes place. Everything that you consume, whether you eat or drink, everything that you consume has to be digested through your digestive tract first, by way of the stomach first, your hydrochloric acid. And if your hydrochloric acid is tainted and diluted with an abundance of pesticides and food additives and food dyes, then we're going to slowly but surely start minimizing the status of your immune system. You're going to start minimizing the effect that your immune system has on the rest of your body, because you have no what they call friendly bacteria in your gut, because you've destroyed it through all the preservatives, right? Through all the additives and the food dyes. Because here, and I've gone and I've done some, not experiments, but I've had cereal, because they mentioned cereal with all the colors, and it's all about marketing. Everything is about marketing and how you market to children. And by nature, children coming from the spirit world, they're into the colors of the light spectrum. And the marketing geniuses at Kellogg's and Post and General Mills, they know this. They know this. They have psychologists and other scholars that know about the mind and how food additives affect the brain. They have these people come in and they go over what amounts are going to be, as far as the trace amounts of chemicals that are going to be in these commercial cereals. They know how much is going to be just enough to get the children either addicted or have an abundance enough to, when they go to the doctor or their psychologist or psychiatrist with their parents, they're going to be diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, because they have an abundance of pesticides, food additives, and other additives in their food, and it's going in their gut, and it's destroying all the goodies that are in their gut that digest their food, whether it's the hydrochloric acid or the friendly bacteria or the flora. That's why we mention about taking probiotics instead of antibiotics. There's a major difference between the two. And all you got to do is just check the pronoun. antibiotic, meaning anti-life, meaning that when you take antibiotics, they're literally destroying everything in your gut. It's like dropping an atomic bomb inside of your digestive tract, because it's going to literally wipe out everything. It does not discriminate. Versus probiotics, which actually add to your friendly bacteria. Actually, it adds to its energy abundance, which determines how effective your digestive, not only your digestive system, but how effective your immune system is going to be. Probiotics. And that's just one thing that you can add to your list of supplementation. Probiotics or digestive enzymes. You can add that to your supplementation to help digest your food and to help digest all of these pesticides that are in the food supply. But I've had some of the cereals with the food coloring, and just realistically, many kids of my generation, I know I did, I ate an abundance of cereal. I love cereal, still love it to this day. I ate Fruit Loops. I ate Apple Jacks. I ate Cocoa Puffs. I ate Cocoa Pebbles. I ate Fruity Pebbles. I ate Trix. But for example, Trix, the taste of Trix is very different today than it was 30 or 40 years ago. It just is. And not to mention that, just like what was said in the report, that there are other countries that don't use these food dyes. Matter of fact, there's plenty of preservatives and food dyes and other artificial sweeteners that are outlawed in some of these countries, especially in Europe. And for example, in the clip, they showed Germany as opposed to America, which uses food dyes and food colorings. And you can see it right on the box, red 40 or blue 30 or yellow 5, all of these different food dye codes that are used. Versus a more natural cereal, or a cereal that's minimally processed and use fruit extracts from fruit for the flavor, such as watermelon or grape or strawberry. This is what's used in not only in other countries when it comes to the Kellogg's cereals, but here in America, a lot of your alternative cereals that you might find in a Whole Foods or Sprouts or a Trader Joe's. These grocery outlets or grocery stores, they carry these type of cereals that may be healthier for not only you, but for your children as well. Or not only for your children, but for you as well. So there's always alternatives. And knowing Kellogg's being a publicly traded company, as I've said with other companies, when they're publicly traded, their allegiance is not to the children. Their Post and General Mills, their allegiance isn't to the children. No, their allegiance is to the shareholders of Kellogg's and Post and General Mills. That's their allegiance. Their allegiance is not to your 10-year-old or 8-year-old or 7-year-old that eats Fruit Loops on a regular basis. That's not their allegiance. Their allegiance is not to the children or the parents. Their allegiance is to the shareholders, right? The best way to increase shareholder value. And that's why, again, like in the report, Kellogg's, when they said they were going to take these dyes out 10 years ago, yeah, they did it, just not here in America. And this is one of the major reasons why America is one of the is probably, if not more than likely, the illness capital of the world. America. America. And I've said this for years. You name the illness here in America, we got it. We got it. So there's always alternatives. There's always alternatives. Instead of purchasing Kellogg's, there's Malto Meal. That's another brand that has alternative. They use natural flavorings or extracts from fruit. Not all of their cereals, but some of them do, respectively. And or you can go to other grocery stores. Again, I always say, vote with your dollars. Vote with your dollars. The best way to send a message to any corporation is to vote with your dollars by using your money elsewhere to purchase your food. It's that simple. And that goes for any of these corporations. Kellogg's, just like in the clip. Post, General Mills, those are the big three for cereal. And then I mentioned Malto Meal, which isn't in this case because they do have certain products that do use natural extracts. So kudos to all of the protesters. Let's see what happens from there. Will Kellogg's break down and finally get rid of the food dyes? You heard whatever spokesperson with their quote saying that there's no significant evidence that shows that food dyes have any effect on the minds and behaviors of children. That's their position, which is not surprising to me. That's always going to be their position. Always. Why? Because they have a fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders, not to the children. That's why. So we'll see what comes with that. I'm going to continue with some of the, before I do that, but I'm going to go to, because I'm going to go back to this list of myths and facts. What causes ADD or ADHD or ADDs? They're pretty much the same thing, which I'm going to show you right now, and how they're defined. And then I'm going to go over some more potential root causes of ADD and ADHD. But before I do that, let's see here. I'm going to pull, let's see, here we go. We're going to pull these up here. So I'm going to pull these up here because I saw this a couple of days ago. I saw this a couple of days ago, and I saw this ADD or ADHD, a new understanding. ADHD, a new understanding. A new understanding is ADD, or wait. Okay, here we go. So, is it ADHD or something else? Differences in boys or girls, or boys and girls, thriving with adult ADHD, and then the right treatments. The right treatments. Is it ADHD or something else? Differences in boys and girls, thriving with adult ADHD, and the right treatments. The right treatments for ADD or ADHD. So I saw this, and this is coming from a Very Well magazine. So I was looking at this, and I just want to, because obviously there are, and again, this is why people like Dr. and I love highlighting Dr. Shaler, because we've discussed this about how certain behaviors are defined, So right here, it says ADD and ADHD. What's the difference? How the name and diagnosis have changed over the years. You may have heard the terms ADD and ADHD used interchangeably. Attention deficit disorder, ADD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, are indeed the same condition. It's just that ADHD has had several name changes over the last 3 decades. That's because as more research is carried out, understanding grows, and the name has been changed to reflect that knowledge. ADHD is now the official name. However, many still use the term ADD, which was the formal name from 1980 to 1987. 1980 to 1987. So, and this is how ADD and ADHD are defined, or has been defined. One is they're actually the same. They're one and the same. One is just one, I guess one is more hyperactive than the next person when it comes to their attention deficits. when it comes to their attention deficits. So, which is interesting because, again, these are the things that, which are why many mental conditions are misdiagnosed, while trying to understand human behavior, as we see right here. They've been interchangeable, ADD, ADHD, and how you decipher the two. Or can you? That's the question. Or can you? So I'm going to read some of the root causes of ADD. I'm going to continue because where I left off with food additives. So now we have one of the big ones here. So I'm just going to pull this up.